Hi, hello there. This is my first video on YouTube, and I have already done a few video shorts as a kind of practice, so I never approached to YouTube land. And this is the first proper one I'm doing. Probably last about 5, 6, 7 minutes or something like that. And the baseline is I've been writing a book for the past number of years, and I will soon be starting the editing process for that. I thought it would be nice to make a few videos and put them on YouTube, detailing and what I'm doing and so on and so forth. And I'll probably take a kind of mindful approach to the whole thing. Actually, in fact, as I'm not quite doing it for public relations or anything like that. Doing it for myself, really. You know, I was writing for myself as well. In fact, and that's pretty much why I started writing there about 10 years ago when this book started. Now we're only talking about doing a page here and a page there. It's not as though I spend 20 hours a week at it or anything like that. And I have to admit, I realized last summer it was something like 2,600 pages or something like that. I'm using just copybooks like this, writing with a pencil, just simple like that. And I've got about 25 of these copybooks for this stage. And it is time to finish the book and put a conclusion on it and get the editing done. And I might divide it up into subsections and issue it in ebook form to begin with. 25 parts, thereabouts, planning on about 25 parts to it anyway. And I'll be doing a few videos here maybe once every month for the next 12 months, right up to next January or next February, I think it will be. And it's largely going to be based on the book. I'll give you a few snapshots and maybe a few subplots, mention a couple of the characters and what they're doing and so forth. One thing I could mention straight away is one of the central characters who disappears in the middle of the book somewhere because he loses his mind a bit, which is pretty much the way the world is going at the moment, I think. But he just finds his feet again, and he uses his early morning routine, about 30 seconds every early morning routine in the kitchen before he starts his breakfast. He just clears out his mind and spends 30 seconds in complete and total silence. And he just literally empties everything out of his mind. It's a bit like, say, take for example your tablet computer or your phone, and you're browsing away in the evening there to it, and it just freezes up as they tend to do, particularly if it's 2 or 3 years old, like mine. And the problem is there's just too much instructions on it, too much information on it, too many tabs open, too much history on it, and it just falls over itself really, and it freezes up, and you end up getting a little bit antsy, and you start poking at it with your finger, trying to get it to go again, and you only end up getting annoyed. So delete the history, close the tabs, get rid of the apps you're not even using. There could be half a dozen apps on your phone or your tablet that you don't even know why they're there. They're just there. Mine is the very same. So spend 30 seconds every morning, the character does, emptying everything out and resetting so as you can manage the rest of the day. And second to that, I could actually probably mention EFT, and I do that myself actually. It's emotional freedom technique. And I did one video short in January just to test YouTube out of me doing that. And I usually use it because I have a TMJ disorder on the side of my face here. And I actually had this morning's thought for the day wrote out in my copybook, another copybook. And that's why I use it. I write in copybooks with pencils. Very old fashioned way of doing it before I use a speech to text system, put it on the computer. Anyway, the thought for the day was I trust in my capacity to overcome challenges and thrive. And I say that to myself silently while switching down a few gears, going into neutral. Sometimes I move my finger around a little bit to find a particular point that I feel works. And then you can move onto your nose as well. not to get you on. I trust in my capacity to overcome a challenge and thrive. You open your mind, resetting everything. And I do that sometimes. And one of the characters in books does that sometimes as well. And in a very noisy, hurried world, people could probably think of doing that a little bit more themselves as well, because you don't need me to tell you what's happening in the world these days. Things are going a little bit bonkers in some places. But I wouldn't worry too much about it myself, because there's always a little bit of bonkers going on in the world. It's just that because the media is so easily accessed these days, you can find out what's happening in a couple of seconds flat. Whereas 40 years ago, 95% of stuff going on in the world, nobody ever found out about it because there wasn't really much media coverage. Journalists covered the big stories, that was about it. But anyway, I'm only rambling there, so I'll tidy things up there now. And I'll start concluding this first video. We'll focus on too long. And like I said, hopefully I'll do 12 more videos once a month, giving you an idea how the book is coming along. Maybe mention a couple of characters and subplots and things like that. And let's see now, what else can I say? Not much. I think about 7 minutes we're coming up to. I think we'll close off at 7 minutes actually. And like I said, I'm not going to fall over myself with the PR. I'm doing it for my own benefit because I just, I'm pushing 50 now, going into 40 anyway, and it's time to start reassessing life and wondering where I'm going to go on from here onwards, as I spent quite a few years in counselling when I was younger, which I have to admit was hugely beneficial, as I wasn't particularly good at talking at all. I'm not particularly good at talking to this computer either. So it's a trial and error approach here as well. And, that's where I actually, in counselling, that's where I found out about the EFT, as I thought it was, an interesting thing to start with. Quite interesting. And anyway, there you have it. And that's the first video concluded. And next month, put up another one and detail the first main character in the book. And hopefully I'll be able to transfer this video to my Blue Sky account, because I don't particularly do too much in Facebook or all the rest of the places, but I do a fair bit in Blue Sky and LinkedIn. So anyway, that's it. Bye-bye.